Let's take a closer look at our quarter-scale Holland 1 model. At first glance, you'll notice its simplicity, a hallmark of the original submarine's design. Ours is an exact replica, scaled down to a quarter of the size. Like John P. Holland, who aimed to quickly develop a functional prototype to refine submarine functions, we also focused on rapid construction. Using flat sheets of 14-gauge steel, we bent and welded them to form the hull, bypassing the use of an internal frame. While we initially built a simple tube chassis, it proved unnecessary for structural integrity and was discarded. The result is a monocoque chassis, similar to the original Holland 1. Moving on, his next hull design used the porpoise-shaped hull and is called the Holland 2. This model can be seen in the Patterson Museum, as the porpoise-shaped design is incorporated in all modern submarines. Holland noted that the paddle system in his early models was ineffective. Although it didn't perform as he hoped, slowing forward speed without improving stability, we included it in our design to stay true to the original. Moving to the bridge, or conning tower, this section houses key components like the RC receiver, antenna, camera, and underwater spotlight. You'll also find connectors for battery charging and a master power switch. The propeller, measuring 100 millimeters, or 3.94 inches, and the rudder are both fabricated to match historical specifications. Now let's examine the starboard side. Here, the submarine can be opened for major repairs or adjustments. For minor fixes, access from the top is sufficient, utilizing the same sealing method as the sides. Around the edge of the cover, you'll notice screw holes designed for watertight sealing. We opted to weld the port side permanently and use a removable sealed cover for the starboard side. To emulate the original's appearance, we powder-coated the hull in a rusted color. At the aft, you'll see the drive shaft connecting the motor to a flexible shaft, along with the rudder control linkage and servo system. Looking further inside, we have mounted an air compressor capable of producing 120 psi. Black air lines distribute this pressure to a small tank in the forward compartment. Two solenoid air valves manage venting and water displacement in the ballast tanks, enabling the submarine to surface or dive. The ballast tanks themselves are stainless steel, controlled by a self-priming water pump. While the system is designed to fill and empty gradually through a 3/4 inch pipe at the submarine's lowest point, we also added the pump to increase descent speed. The system, however, still requires testing under realistic conditions. An airflow control valve reduces pressure below 20 psi to avoid damaging the water lines. Forward, you'll find a servo controlling the paddle arm, a section that presented challenges in sealing the paddle shaft through holes. Although untested underwater, we're confident in its integrity. Nearby is a 3/4 inch solenoid valve for water intake, a 90 to 120 psi pressure switch on the air tank, and the ruggedly welded custom air tank, which, despite some welding issues, is leak-free. Finally, the submarine's top compartment houses the battery, motor controller, and RC controller, completing our design. Each element mirrors the ingenuity of Holland's original work while incorporating modern enhancements and materials.